shadows and light. The world within is often louder than the world outside. For Elena, the whispers in her mind had grown into storms. Beneath the chaos lay an uncharted yearning, a call not to escape but to understand. She didn't know that her journey through darkness would be one of rediscovery, blending the intangible threads of mental health and spirituality into a tapestry of healing. Chapter 1: The Fractured Mind. Elena Parker sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the faint sunlight seeping through her curtains. For months, her world had felt muted. Sounds, colors, even emotions seemed distant. The diagnosis came as no surprise: depression with episodes of anxiety. But labels didn't fix the void she felt inside. Therapy helped her understand her triggers, and medication dulled the sharp edges of her despair, but the questions remained. Why am I here? What is the purpose of this suffering? A neighbor, Mrs. Sharma, introduced Elena to meditation. Not for religion, Mrs. Sharma said gently, but to sit with your soul. Sometimes, answers lie where we least expect them. Chapter 2: The Inner Journey. Elena approached meditation reluctantly. Sitting still with her thoughts seemed like inviting the enemy into her home. Yet, as the days passed, she began noticing the spaces between her thoughts. These moments, fleeting as they were, felt like a balm. One evening, as she meditated, a memory surfaced of her grandmother telling her as a child, "Elena, the storms within are often the ones that teach us the most. Don't fear them, listen to them." The words were comforting yet puzzling. Was there wisdom in the chaos of her mind? Chapter 3: The Spiritual Awakening. Seeking deeper understanding, Elena attended a retreat led by a spiritual teacher, Ravi. The theme was simple: suffering as a pathway to growth. Ravi spoke about the concept of the dark night of the soul, where one feels abandoned by all: God, purpose, even oneself. "You are not broken," Ravi said during a session. "The cracks in your being are where the light enters. Your pain is not your enemy, it is your guide." Elena wept that night, not out of sorrow but relief. For the first time, her struggles felt meaningful. She began journaling her emotions, integrating therapeutic tools with spiritual reflections. Each page became a dialogue between her mind and soul. Chapter 4: The Shadow and the Light. The next phase of her journey was confronting her shadow, the suppressed emotions and beliefs that fueled her anxiety and depression. Ravi introduced the idea that mental health and spirituality are intertwined. Mental illness, he explained, often acts as a teacher, urging us to shed old patterns and embrace our authentic selves. Through therapy, Elena revisited childhood wounds and unspoken grief. Through spiritual practice, she learned to forgive herself and others. Slowly, the heaviness in her chest began to lift, replaced by a quiet strength. Chapter 5: The Connection. Elena joined a support group where members shared their stories of struggle and resilience. It was here she met Marcus, a poet who used his bipolar disorder as a lens to create art. His words struck a chord: The same fire that consumes also transforms. We decide which it will be. Together, they explored the idea that spirituality need not be tied to religion. It could be as simple as appreciating the present moment, finding solace in nature, or connecting deeply with another human being. For Elena, spirituality became her bridge to herself and the world. Chapter 6: Becoming Whole. Months turned into years. Elena wasn't cured, but she had learned to coexist with her mental health challenges. Therapy remained her anchor, spirituality her compass. She realized the journey wasn't about erasing pain but finding meaning in it. One day, as she stood by the ocean, watching waves crash against the shore, Elena whispered, "Thank you." Not to anyone in particular, but to life itself, for the shadows and the light, for the storms and the stillness. Epilogue: The gift of the journey. Elena became a mentor for others struggling with mental health, blending her lived experience with spiritual insights. Her message was simple yet profound: healing is not linear, and neither is life. But within every heart lies the power to transform pain into purpose. And so, her story continued, not as an ending but as a beginning, echoing the timeless truth: the path to wholeness lies within. The end. Thanks for watching. For more story, please support and subscribe our channel.